Hey, what's up, Ottawa? I'm Infinite X, and this song's called Weak Kings by the Tragically Hip. Sundown in the Paris of the prairies, we kings have all treasures buried. All you hear are the rusted breezes pushing around a weather vane Jesus. In his Hippolyta, he sees the killer's face. Maybe it's someone standing in the killer's place. 20 years, nothing will last, nothing new. Besides, no one's interested in something you didn't do. We ain't kings and pretty things. Let's just see what the morning brings. There's a dream he dreams where the high school's dead and stuck. It's a museum and we're all locked up in after dark, where the walls are all lined yellow, gray and sinister, hung with pictures of our parents' prime ministers. We ain't kings and pretty things. Wait and see, oh, what the morning brings. Late breaking story on the CBC. A nation whispers, we always knew he'd go free. They had you can't be fond living in the past, 'cause if you are, then there's no way you're gonna last. We ain't kings and pretty things. Let's just see what tomorrow brings. We ain't kings and pretty things. Oh, that's what tomorrow brings. Hey, thanks a lot, eh? I'm Infinite X. Just give me a second. I'm just going to change this to more of like a roomy sort of combo. So just get a sec. And I'm back. As I was saying, I'm Infinite X. That song was Weak Kings by the Tragically Hip. And I personally really love the Hip. I saw them at their second last show back in Ottawa. And it was a phenomenal show.
I couldn't have asked for more. I didn't, building up to that show, I didn't really, I knew the Hip, but I didn't really know the Hip. And until I saw that show and just the love pouring out of the crowd, it was an amazing night, and tons of cool stories. That's for another time. You ever want to meet me in person, I'll tell you about it. So it's about a guy named David, and David was wrongfully convicted for rape and murder of a woman named Gail in Saskatchewan. This is back in, the crime occurred in 1979, and he was convicted, David, in 1980. As the years went on, his mother went up and saw a Hip show and pleaded to the Hip, saying, hey, my son's innocent. Is there anything you can do about this to raise awareness? David spent 23 years in prison. He was subject to being beat up and also being raped. Unfortunately, with this whole being wrongfully convicted, it's unfortunate. It still happens today. I know there are a lot of people that try to make an effort of not having it happen, but it's unfortunate it still happens. So with the Hip, they ended up raising funds through selling merch, such as T-shirts and CDs, and you were able to use that money to raise funds for the legal fees. David actually ended up getting out, I believe it was April the 16th, 1992. Interesting enough, too, is this song came out, I think, just before he got out, and then the Fully Completely album came out a few months later. So, timing was pretty good. Now, a couple other cool meanings with the song. Sundown, the Paris of the prairies. That's actually Saskatoon in Saskatchewan. I believe it's Saskatchewan. And apparently Saskatoon is the Paris of the prairies. And so I'd love to go and see that. I'm hoping next year with Canada trip and everything, I'll go play there and play the song right at sundown. As well, it's Wheat Kings, his name is from farmers who actually created a new gene splice, I guess, for the wheat, and made it so much so that it was just economically feasible and the best choice. Therefore, those people who created it made tons of money. Therefore, Wheat Kings. So another interesting thing too is the Hip were actually sued for this song. In the beginning of the studio version, you'll hear loons, and that's a pre-recorded audio from another artist, and the artist was like, no, I don't want you having that. So he sued, and the Hip's like, hey, what if we take a portion of our funds from the song to support the Wildlife Foundation for Loons? So they ended up agreeing, and that's it. So I thought that was cool. I've always loved the Hip. They've always been an essential voice in Canadian culture. They've always stood up for the injustices here in this country. And when it comes to my own music personally, I try to stand up for those injustices as well, talk about my own experiences, and I think that's the essentialness of music, is to talk about your own experience and share others too. So once again, I'm Infinite X. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. For Facebook, it's Infinite X. For Instagram, it's Infi_X. And for YouTube, it's Infinite X. Hope you come and check out my page. We'll really appreciate it if you give me a like on that too, so you can keep up to date with what's going on with me. And let me know how you're doing. It's been a little trying this last year or whatever. It's nice to see that we have a potential solution coming out with the vaccine, and I'm excited for that. And it's just nice to see that there's light on the other side when it comes to playing gigs, because live music industry has been hit, I would say, in my opinion, the hardest. So just if you want to go down in the comments, say how you're doing, great. I'll respond too, I'll tell you how I'm doing, and yeah, I hope to see you soon. Have a great night. Peace.